Welcome. I'm going to show you how to use SnapNrack's new design tools. From SnapNrack's website, you're going to be able to click on our design tools icon on the toolbar. We have two choices for either designing rooftop or ground mount systems. This walkthrough is only going to cover the rooftop design tools. So this is going to take you to our blueprint portal where you'll be able to generate a bill of materials and get engineering documentation for your racking system. We're going to start a new project. Enter a made-up address. Pick our racking system between UltraRail, Top Speed Universal, or Top Speed Original. You can pick your solar module manufacturer. If you don't see your module manufacturer and the specific module model that you'd like to design with, you can scroll all the way down to the bottom and enter custom module dimensions. I'm just going to go ahead and use these certain T modules for this design. Sometimes it can take a minute to load. After it's done loading, you'll see your main toolbar up here. We're going to go over this real quick. So you have your home button. This will take you back to a home page if you have created an account on our Blueprint service. This is where you'll be able to go back and view any past projects that you have designed on SnapNrack's Blueprint service. You can also use this newer open project button, start a new project, generate a new bill of materials where you just enter in SKUs and quantities yourself, open an existing project, or take you back to the home page as well. This icon here is the draw tool icon. It shows you how to just click and drag modules. It also tells you that if you click and hold this, you can change from drawing modules in portrait orientation to landscape orientation. This is important because this tool does not have the ability to rotate an individual module or group of modules from portrait to landscape yet. You just have to draw them separately, but I'll show you how to use that. We also have a zones configure tool. This is where you're going to pick if your modules are on the interior edge or corner of a roof. This is just a pan or move tool. I'll walk through that in a second. This is a tool you can click any module and erase an individual module. We do have an undo and a redo feature, as well as this reset button that will delete your entire project and lets you start over. So here's like I said, we're going to start with our UltraRail system here. This is where you're going to enter your rafter spacing or framing spacing that you're going to attach to. You have the option to toggle between deck mounting and rafter mounting here. I'm going to stick with rafter mounting. For our rail, we have all of our options here between your finishes, rail lengths, and the rail sizes, including our just released UR45 rail, as well as the option to design with the domestic SKUs if you're trying to maximize your tax credits. All right. So we'll pick our rail here. We'll go with our UR45 rail in a black finish to go with our black modules. You can pick between those mid clamps you'd like to use and your end clamps. So we're going to do universal end clamps. And here's where you're going to pick your roof attachment. SnapNrack has a wide variety of roof attachments to pick from. One thing that's very helpful for sorting through these is typing in the search bar. So we can pick our speed seal foot. We're going to go ahead and design with anchor foot. Anchor foot, if you're not familiar with it, has a few different attachment options. This can, so you can attach to your framing with 2 wood screws or a single lag screw. So we're going to go with the 2 wood screws. This slider here will change the maximum attachment spacing. So for instance, let's say your calculations say that you can mount your your fasteners, or you can put your mounts 96 inches on center, but you're in a jurisdiction that only allows you to mount it 48 inches on center. You can just slide back here, and this will just be a max spacing, so you'll never go above this amount. We're going to go ahead and max it out though. You can design with 2 or 3 rails if your modules need more support, or you need to spread the forces out between your mounts more. Typically, our racking systems can handle really high loads already. The main use case for 3 rail systems is providing support, or providing more support to modules in high load conditions. You can design with or without skirts here. And you also have the option to stagger your attachments or stack them. And we'll go ahead and select yes, we do want, actually no MLPE kits on this one. All right, so these drop downs here, you can toggle between different modules again. So let's say you design your project, you go out and install with different modules. So you can come back and reconfigure it here and kind of generate yourself like an as-built bill of materials, just make sure everything works. You can edit your roof height and roof pitch here. So we'll just say we're designing on a single-story home with an 18-degree roof pitch. And we can come in and edit our design criteria here. So we're going to say exposure B, we'll design with 2021 IBC. We are planning on having the 2024 IBC functionality built in by the end of the year. So look out for that if you're in any of those jurisdictions. If you are in a jurisdiction that's already using 2024 IBC, please reach out to your account manager or the SnapNrack service team. We have other documentation that we can help. We can show you how to work around it and get an accurate design and build materials. Going to go ahead and enter our snow and wind speed will stay the same there. All right, and click Save Updates. So now we can start drawing our tools, or drawing our array. So we'll click that button. Just a common error I see, or common bug we've been having our users run into is sometimes you can't draw immediately. So if that happens to you, just click this cursor, click back to the draw icon, and you'll be ready to draw again. Drawing is as easy as clicking and dragging modules out on your array. So all I have to do is click and drag. I can do multiple arrays like I was showing you, and we're going to do click and hold this icon. Now I can draw in landscape orientation as well. All right, you'll see, so this is the arrays we're going to generate a bill of materials for. One of the things you'll notice is there's these red icons here. That's indicative of an error on the screen. So we're going to select these modules with the cursor icon, and we can actually just use the arrow keys on your keyboard and do a slight nudge over, and then you see that we are mounted on framing. So what happened here, we have a cantilever distance violation, which means that these rail segments are cantilevered too far for these loading conditions. So you can see over here on the right side of the screen that these are your max spacing in portrait and your max cantilever in portrait, and your max spacing in landscape and your max cantilever in landscape. So that is, I showed you how you can do a quick nudge and get these over. You can also click and drag the array over and move it like that. One other feature you can do as well is you can click and drag a single module. So let's say you need to, let's see, you have an obstruction here on this array. You can actually just click and drag this single module around and move it off. It does have a snap function, so you can actually snap it back into place. And pay attention to these rails. It will actually join the rails back together and give you a single span of rail there. Same thing will happen here. Click and drag this one out. I can snap it to the bottom here. This does have a cantilever violation, as you can see, and just snap it back into the array as well. I can click a single module. If I push the delete key on your keyboard, it'll do that. If I undo it, I can press this erase button and I can do the same thing. I can delete a module again. Um, Also on these, Control Z and Control Y do work as hotkeys for undo and redo. All right, so there's also on the screen, sorry, you can also see the bill of materials for each subarray. So it's going to tell you exactly how many rails you need for each individual bill or for your whole system, as well as your subarrays that you've designed. Um, we're gonna go ahead and save this. One thing to pay attention to as well is that you can actually toggle between racking systems in this design tool. So now I've already designed a bill of materials for the ultra system. Let's say I want to redesign it to top speed original. So now I can just come in here and I can click top speed original. I'm going to go through here and make sure that everything else is the same. Do you want to use clamps or links there? Do you want to add junction boxes? We're going to say yes per subarrays. Pick our junction box, and yes, we want MLPE kits with it. Go ahead and save our update. Thinking about it for a second. You can see it's already regenerated our the graphic here. And there we go. Now we can move around again. So just as quick as toggling that and reselecting some additional items in the bill of materials or in the design panel over here. Now our bill of materials has changed. So we have our top speed bill of materials. We have our skirts that are required. Added those frame attachment kits and all the other accessories you might need. All right. So that is the design side of the tool. We're going to go ahead and save one more time. Sorry for it being a little bit slow. There we go. We'll hit continue and get out of here. And this is going to take us to the next screen where we'll see kind of the final bill of materials as well as the options to add additional items to our bill of materials. So if we want to buy additional grounding lugs or MLPE kits or extra mounts, whatever you might need, that can be done here. So I can go in and I can say, I want to buy, or I want to make sure I include in my bill of materials additional smart clips. So I'm going to go ahead and add 4 more and just adds onto your bill of materials there. You can actually take items off of your bill of materials as well. So say I actually don't want the junction box anymore, I can just go knock it down. You cannot do a negative number below 0, but yeah, so there's our new bill of materials there. Sorry, with the no junction boxes. Go ahead and keep those on. All right. And then we have 2 options for output. We can export it as a CSV file spreadsheet. So then you can easily enter this in your drafting software or in a bill of materials and drawings if you need to. You can also have a PDF export option here. And this will generate kind of like an engineering package that'll show you the inputs and outputs from your tool um, as well as the bill of materials for purchasing products. The engineering outputs are for the racking system only. They do not take into account the design or the like any certification of the structure to support the racking, of course. This is just to design the racking system and make sure it can attach to the roof properly. All right, and with that, I'm going to save our updates, and it's going to take you back here to the homepage for this project. So if I ever need to come back and find this project, you can look it up here. It will be saved in your page. I can click on this bill of materials again. This is the bill of materials that we just generated. And if I click on this icon here, I can go back and edit the design again. And so this is where you can go back in, make any changes you might need to. Like I was saying, let's change our modules real quick. regenerate our bill of materials, taking into account larger modules, larger footprint from these modules, different module thickness as well. Make sure we get all the right materials for your project. All right. This is going to take us back out into the home screen in a second. If you have any questions about this design tool or would like to schedule a video or remote training session with the engineering team at SnapNrack, please reach out to your account manager. We'd be happy to set up some time and walk you through this or answer any questions you might have. All right, thanks.